Trapmore gang, I'm back with another update, and today we're going to be talking about New York Drill. Now, unfortunately, New York Drill has been going through a pretty tough time over the past few years. They had an amazing moment and movement with the likes of Pop Smoke absolutely killing it. Dior, he was taking a lot of the UK drill flavor and, bringing those beats to New York. He was by no means the first person to do it. You had people like Fabio Foreign, 22Gs, doing amazing stuff when it came to the beats and the creativity in New York and Brooklyn drill and all of that stuff. But unfortunately, those rappers ain't really getting the shine that they deserve. Like, I love Favi's music, love 22Gs. They had a whole beef. It seems like that beef's cooled down a little bit now, but I feel like both of those artists ain't getting the love they deserve. And even the little younger generation that was going crazy with Brooklyn drill or the Bronx drill for a little bit, K-Flock, he ended up catching this case, the Amiri assassin himself, Mr. Murder in Montclair. He actually beat his murder case, but he was found guilty on several other charges. Attempted murder, firearm charges, racketeering, and he is still facing some significant time and is definitely not in the best of situations, right? But a recent New York drill rapper who kind of came up really before K-Flock did, Sheff G has unfortunately been making headlines again. He took a plea deal and turned himself in October on some other serious charges. Let's have a little recap of what was going on with him just real quick, because I got some news footage here you're going to like.
Platinum rapper and ex-gang leader Sheff G has long-term dreams of music superstardom and luxury living, and he's made progress towards that. But first, he has to handle unfinished business from the streets he used to run, a 5-year prison term for attempted murder and conspiracy. Michael Williams, known to his millions of fans as drill and sexy drill rapper Sheff G, gathered on a corner across the street from State Supreme Court.
Sexy drill rapper's crazy.
With his girlfriend, family, and his attorney, Arthur Aidala, to face a tune no one ever wants to hear. Time to turn yourself in. But first, he left a few words for the kids he knows look up to him.
Stay safe, be safe, play safe, and do everything that you dream about. On the circle.
Okay. Inside the packed courtroom, Sheff G stood with attorney Aidala and asked the court to consider deducting time he served on a related gun charge. Last spring, Williams pleaded guilty to multiple counts of second-degree attempted murder and conspiracy after being arrested in one of the biggest gang cases ever in Brooklyn. The Brooklyn DA said he was a leading member of the 8 Trey Crips and 9 Ways gang, accused of shootings, gun possession, and stealing cars.
Look, they was the problem, right? The 8 Trey in New York, moving gang, whatever you want to call them, bro. There was a bunch of Crips in New York that were getting very busy, and they were causing a lot of problems. Now, look, I've covered Sheff G and his beefs and all of the situations that he's been in extensively in my channel, but just to give you a little bit of a refresher of his background, this is a clip from one of my videos.
Sheff G came up quick off the back of his street feud turned rap beef with New York GD rapper 22Gs. Sheff G's track No Suburban, a response to 22Gs' song Suburban, quickly put Sheff G on the map as a New York drill legend. And from there, he would build on his fan base with a solid catalogue of regular releases, like his Unlucky Lucky Kid mixtape and a studio album called One and Only. And by the mid-2020s, Sheff G was firmly on the map as one of the biggest names pioneering the Brooklyn drill wave. Sheff G had truly made it, and if his music videos were anything to go by, the money was rolling in. From riding around in a chauffeur-driven Rolls Royce in the Feel Away video, flexing wads of cash in Bentleys and Teslas in the We Gettin' Money video, and to driving what looked like his very own Rolls Royce Wraith in the music video for No Suburban 2. Things looked like they were going well, and it was clear that Sheff G was money motivated. And of course, one of the oldest mogul moves in the book for a young rapper that's blowing up in the rap game is to start their own record label. And behind the scenes, while Sheff G was rising in his own rap career, he was also starting off his own label, Winner's Circle Entertainment, supporting the careers of fellow New York drill rappers Sleepy Hallow, well known for his mainstream collab with Sheff G himself, the track Flows that came out in May 2019. That song sitting today at over 10 million views, and followed up by the big release of his Halloween 2019 mixtape, Don't Sleep. But the
So, look, he was getting busy, all right? He was building his label up. Now, unfortunately, there were some comments, there were some spicy comments on this one. Some people said upcoming RICO charge, watching this, rubbing their hands like Birdman. I mean, a RICO charge isn't a sentient being with hands, but I get what you're saying. Okay, some people said you need to do an update after the new RICO charges dropped on Sheff and Sleepy Hallow, and the RICO did unfortunately land, and there's all types of videos and stuff about this. Now, this coverage I did was quite a long time ago. This was 3 years ago, okay? But a lot of people were predicting that Sheff G would be in trouble, and he did ultimately get identified as the alleged leader of his crew, and he got hit with some serious charges. charges. He, Sleepy Hollow, and over 30 alleged 8-Trade Crips and their affiliates, 9 Ways, were hit with a major indictment. And according to authorities, Sheff G was indeed the head honcho of the set.
22 teams made up of the NYPD's Gun Violence Suppression Division and the Warrant Squad were briefed about the case, which stretches back 4 years. Over the coming hours, they took alleged 8-Trade gang members into custody. Some were already behind bars, like Michael Williams, better known as drill rapper Sheff G, who previously pleaded guilty to gun possession. He was booked on new charges. Police say he controlled the streets even though he was locked down.
Let's talk about Sheff. If Sheff said something, it happened. A simple text. We got to get a big one. That simple text created a war.
The detectives and officers from the NYPD Gun Violence Suppression Division, along with the Warrants Division, have all gotten their assignments, over 200 of them. They'll be fanning out to go and take down these suspects who have been pre-indicted on very serious allegations. The teams took the suspects not already incarcerated into custody without a single shot being fired. Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez says the gang members used more than 30 guns to threaten or eliminate their rivals, proudly posting and boasting on social media phone videos. This surveillance video, where they pop out with guns from a sunroof and window, shows one of the street shootings included in the case. The DA says charges include murder, attempted murder, weapons possession, and other crimes. In total, Gonzalez says there was 1 murder, 4 attempted murders, and 12 non-fatal shootings.
What we allege and what we learned during the course of this investigation is that Sheff G used a lot of the money that he earned to help facilitate further gang activity.
So it's unfortunate, man. It's a tale as old as time. The rapper gets lit and they start spending their money on funding the war on the block. Now, law and crime would break the situation down further, and they would claim that prosecutors actually had text evidence and basically alleged that Sheff G was treating his gang to fancy dinners literally after a rival got killed.
For the allegations against Sheff G, though, we have to go back just a little more, to October 21st of 2020. Now, prosecutors say this was the most egregious incident in the indictment. On that day, there was a mass shooting in Brooklyn. One of the defendants, Commandre Decato, allegedly was seen on surveillance video coming up out of a sunroof on a car and just opening fire, while others fired guns from the driver's side and the rear driver's side windows. Multiple people were shot and injured, but the bullets ultimately killed their rival, 23-year-old Theodore Sr. So I mentioned this has to do with Sheff G, right? Well, according to prosecutors, an hour after the shooting, Sheff G sent a text getting confirmation that, the act was carried out. In other messages, he sent pictures of the victim and news articles about the shooting. Then 2 days after the murder, Sheff G treated everyone to a lavish dinner to celebrate the death of his rival. Now, when the
That's savage, man. You can't be going out for dinners immediately after, I mean, I remember what was that famous Draco the Ruler lyric where he's talking about they all go to Ruth's Chris when the ops get dropped, man. It's actually crazy. So Sheff G's gang was basically tied to like nearly a dozen shootings, including one where Sheff G was allegedly the driver, and prosecutors would actually say that he ordered discipline amongst his crew and he would reward their violent acts in the streets.
Well, according to prosecutors, the alleged gang members used 40 firearms to carry out 12 shootings of 13 victims, including 3 innocent bystanders. So the October 2020 shooting isn't the only one. It was the most egregious one, again, according to prosecutors. On April 6 of 2021, a 53-year-old man and a 43-year-old woman were hit by stray bullets fired by 3 gang members who were targeting a rival, then hopped in a getaway car allegedly driven by Sheff G.
Now, let's not forget, do you remember this? Donald Trump brought Sheff G out on stage. And I think, is that Sleepy Hollow with him? This is insanity that this even happened, bro. This is actually insane. Trump be tapped in with the craziest people.
June 20th of that year, a group of 10 8-Trade Crips beat up one of their own because they thought he betrayed Sheff G. And there were rewards given out for committing violence. Prosecutors say Sheff G offered money and expensive jewelry for those who carried out the crimes. So
I'm not going to lie. We're going to need that pardon, man. We're going to need that pardon, man. Come on. Trump, he was there, right there, front lining for you, man, when you needed him. It all worked out, bro. Give Sheff G that pardon, all right? This is me calling for it, okay? Academics, send this to Donald Trump Jr., all right? Send it to Eric Trump, whoever this needs to get to, whoever got the young boy starter pack. I need Sheff, but then again, at the same time, bro, like it did sound like they were doing egregious crimes, so maybe they got to keep him. I don't know. Okay, bro. If anyone's gonna get a pardon, surely it's this guy, right? That's all I'm trying to say. But anyway, after the indictment, Sheff G was ultimately moved to the notorious Rikers Island prison, and this is crazy. But just based solely, all right, just solely on the Yelp reviews, nobody's having a good time at Rikers Island prison, all right, nobody. right? It's got 3-star. Okay, got 3-star rating on there. Okay, people are having very bad times in there. All right, they're having very bad times in the Rikers Island Correctional Facility. Okay, mainly 1-star. There's a few 5-star reviews. Not gonna lie, they've got an average rating of 3 stars. Okay, this is insane. I used air miles and Bitcoin to score a much coveted Christmas at the New Year's suite at one of NYC's most celebrated new resorts. Spartan but spectacular, the Rikers Island Correctional Facility offers impeccable views of the Manhattan skyline and easy access to nearby LaGuardia Airport. You won't give a second thought to the termites and the bedbugs while enjoying your thoughtfully prepared continental breakfast buffet replete with powdered omelets and a rodentia carving station. And if you're hungry for a little alone time, why not try the incel dining option? For your nocturnal pleasure, we may also suggest the chocolate-infused palmetto bugs as a healthy late-night snacking alternative, a pure delight and house specialty. And while you're recharging, rest assured that your work-life balance will hardly skip a chakra, as that shiv you made in our 5-star executive rejuvenation program is sure to become a cherished family heirloom. Your every wish is our command. And remember, with every third stay, our platinum tier members receive a complimentary deep tissue colonic at the world-renowned Sodom Day Spa, so conveniently located right next to our award-winning communal shower genius bar. Please consult your armed concierge for all the tantalizing details. One visit and we're certain you'll be a recidivist for life. So forget everything you've been taught about luxury lodging and let your troubles fade to misdemeanor at the crown jewel of Gotham's felony resort network. At Rikers, you have the right to remain relaxed, a proud member of the Marriott's Penal Luxury Group. I don't know how people come up with this stuff, man. It's actually crazy. But anyway, okay, back to the serious story. Okay, almost a year after checking into the Rikers Island Correctional Facility and Resort, Sheff G was actually granted briefly a $10 million bond, which apparently was paid up in $1.5 million cash that he then paid. Okay, 1.5 million cash was the ticket. Bail paid same day. You dumb. He had 1.5 mil cash on deck. All right, Sheff G back. New York, we're lit. They counted me out. They thought I was done. And he came back out and he had another little run. Okay, he had a little run of success. This was actually very inspiring.
Yo, we out of here, man. Come on. This was in there reading. Oh, God. Oh, God.
So there you go, man. He bonded out for a little bit. 1,500,000. Absolutely wild, okay? And Sleepy Hollow was even released on bail too. And just a month later, okay, it was actually after getting bail, but before going back inside. That was when the rally with Donald Trump popped off and they were on stage with Trump during a Bronx campaign rally, okay? So he's going to need that pardon. They all did the right thing to get that pardon.
Come on up, fellas. Rapper Sleepy Hollow. Come on up here, fellas. How are you, man? Hey. Oh, I like that. I want to get that done.
President Trump, oh man. One thing I want to say. One thing I want to say. They always gonna whisper your accomplishments and shout your failures. Trump gonna shout the wins for all of us.
Make America great again.
Thank you, fellas.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolute insanity, really, okay? And Sheff G did get backlash for supporting Trump, and he would respond to the backlash, but you know what I'm saying? If he gets that pardon in the tuck, it might have been worth it all along.
People got mad at me because it was like, I was vouching for Trump. Well, my question is, what you gonna do about it? What you was gonna do about it, though? Look me up. What you was gonna do about it? Come and chill.
So look, all right, he's saying, bro, if you got a problem with me having something to do with getting on stage with Donald Trump, you know what I'm saying, putting in my work for a pardon, do something, say something. You wouldn't say nothing because this guy is dangerous, all right? Now, fast forward to this year, 2025, Sheff G would unfortunately have to basically go back to jail. He would plead guilty to attempted murder and conspiracy charges, and he turned himself in, getting sentenced to a whopping 5 years.
Platinum rapper and ex-gang leader Sheff G has long-term dreams of music superstardom and luxury living, and he's made progress towards that. But first, he has to handle unfinished business from the streets he used to run, a 5-year prison term for attempted murder and conspiracy. Michael Williams, known to his millions of fans as drill and sexy drill rapper Sheff G, gathered on a corner across the street from State Supreme Court with his girlfriend, family, and his attorney Arthur Aidala to face a tune no one ever wants to hear. Time to turn yourself in. But first he left a few words for the kids he knows look up to him.
Stay safe, be safe, play safe, and do everything that you dream about. Win the circle.
Okay.
Thank you, Lisa.
Inside the packed courtroom, Sheff G stood with attorney Aidala and asked the court to consider deducting time he served on a related gun charge. Last spring, Williams pleaded guilty to multiple counts of second-degree attempted murder and conspiracy after being arrested in one of the biggest gang cases ever in Brooklyn.
So, obviously, you already know that, right? I teased that earlier on. But they reacted on Reddit, okay? And they've been reacting to him getting his girl coming to visit him. Sheff G getting a visit from his girl/baby mums, okay? For basically, you know the story, right? He said they was getting me tight, telling him to move his hand from my chest, but free my man, free Sheff, all right? He is truly in love. At least she's allowed to come through. Maybe they get conjugal visits in there. I don't know. She looking alright, though. She looking alright for sure. But people saying, alright, y'all, place your bets on how long it'll take before Sheff G girls start messing with other dudes. Savage, man. People saying, I give her props. She's a good employee. Usually, even when you play him, they leave it out, man. Leave it out. Poor Sheff G, man. But look, okay, he's in the situation he's in. All right, it is unfortunate. Okay, apparently he's sending her big amounts of money. Sheff G wired his girlfriend $50K just before turning himself in, just a week after she revealed that she's pregnant. Said, give her $50K to play before I go away. You know the vibes, all right? And apparently he's sending more money. Okay, the more info and pics from the indictment and everything going down. It's kind of, it's a difficult situation. Now, just this month, okay, November 2025, we got another update of what's going on with Sheff G behind bars. Updated prison photos dropped of him getting a visit from his shorty, and he sent her another donation. First it was $50K, this time it's $100K. That boy is Sheff in love. He got a name tatted, and all just for her to be getting all sorts going on. But I feel like she's probably holding it down. He a rich guy, he's sending $100K. It ain't that hard for a woman to hold it down, bro. Like, let's keep it real. I feel like everybody loves to hate on another man who's having success and having a bad bee on his arm, but it's like, bro, you know what I mean? We're all human at the end of the day. She might be busting it open for the next man, or she might not be, okay? So let's not speculate. I don't think it's very fair. And realistically, if he's posting up $1.5 million cash in bond, he definitely got a shorty covered, and she really needs to be in it for the long haul, okay? This guy is a multi-millionaire who's very successful in music. It's probably worth holding him down. So I don't personally believe the rumors, and you know what I'm saying? She looking aight, you know what I'm saying? She looking aight. I probably would send her. I probably would send her a decent amount of money too, and not 100K. That's crazy, but like, you know what I'm saying? People saying he looks like Bobby Schmurda but bigger. Okay, they're saying he's whipped. Some people are saying he ain't whipped. He's scared that she's going to be going out. He's doing everything to try and keep her. I feel like people are low key hating though, because like at the end of the day, like if they're in love and really he's doing 5 years, maybe he ends up doing half or something, 2.5 years, he might already have some time served. Like, bro, it might not be long until he's home. And really, like, what's she gonna do? Just go have some fun with some random hood rat, like for just to mess up everything she's got going on? I feel like she's holding it down. You never know. She might be on some Gucci Mane, Keisha Cole stuff and just like flip that 100K into 500K for Sheff G and really hold it down, man. So salute to Sheff G, man. He's unfortunately in a difficult situation. He is facing the music for stuff that he did. And as you know, all right, I'm trying to be very fair to everybody on this channel, okay? He was moving crazy in these streets, and ultimately it caught up with him. And, he does have to, atone for some of the things that he's done. They're talking about they was doing hits. They were sending him the articles. He was booking fancy dinners for after the hits. Like, come on, bro. Like, that don't last for too long. So I hope when he gets out and gets a second chance, he can get on the straight and narrow path. Realistically, he probably ain't getting pardoned by Donald Trump, and that wouldn't be the best thing for him. I feel like a lot of people have been pardoned, and they've then crashed out. So yeah, man, I'll keep you guys updated if I hear anything more about Sheff G. That's the end of that video. Go and check out this video if you want to see more from me, if you want to see just like some sick content from your boy Trapmore Ross, man. Just tap in because we got that work. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I appreciate you. I'm out here. Bye.